Astoria Cricket?
That depends. Am I in trouble?
Ferdinand Pratt thinks you should be. Says you stole his frame.
I wouldn't call it stolen. Relocated's more like it. How do I put this nicely? Ferdinand Pratt is a postulant boil, and he's lucky I didn't have him sealed in a wall.
He truly is rather foul, isn't he?
All he does is spy on students in here and report back to the headmaster. Sometimes, if there's nothing to report, he'll make it up. I spent 4 hours in detention last week, all because he told Black that I was planning to drain the lake, whatever that means. It was the last straw. He and his frame had to go.
May I ask where you put him?
Oh, I didn't put him anywhere. The frame is likely with the fine gents I paid to snatch it. They camp in a ruin by the coast. I just wanted it far enough away that I'd never have to think about Ferdinand Pratt ever again.
You do know he's screaming in the library as we speak.
Oh, for the love of Merlin. If you ask me, he's got nothing to scream about. I could have had him put in the hogshead. The pampered Pratt would have hated it. Grimy walls, smell of goats. And the patrons, they eat snooty princes like Ferdinand for dinner. But what's done is done. He isn't here anymore, and if I were you, I should enjoy it. Lovely chatting with you.
Alfred Lawley's none too pleased. Seems he's been burgled. I shall pretend I never heard the rumours of your involvement.
Oh, I do hope Mary and her neighbours aren't harmed.
Excuse me, sir. Are you all right?
Just barely. But I don't want to trouble a student with my woes.
I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you.
I'm not so sure. Name's Crispin Dunn, by the way. I trade in the surrounding hamlets. Do the most business in Arranshire. A lovely little hamlet. Stunning gardens. Just the other day, the Daily Prophet ran an article on its scenic hedgerows. Actually, before I go on, I should ask, are you afraid of spiders?
You wouldn't know it by how many I've killed lately, but honestly, I'm terrified of spiders.
Lucky you. Sounds as though you've been able to overcome your fears to a degree. You may not like what I have to say next. The hamlet's overrun with the vile things, and are acting abnormally aggressively. I'm concerned about my customers, of course, but it appears that most of the hamlet's residents fled to safety. It's my friend Mary I worry about. I haven't heard from her, and I fear she's trapped in her cottage.
Understandable. But why don't you check on her yourself?
I would, but I have a crippling fear of the eight-legged beasts, which I, unlike you, seem incapable of conquering. I don't know what to do. Can you think of anyone who can help Mary?
Why are there so many spiders in Arranshire all of a sudden?
I honestly don't know. I've never seen so many spiders in all of my life. It's almost as if someone's breeding them. They've trapped the entire hamlet in webs. I was lucky to escape it all. Mary always has a way with these beasts. It's very concerning not to hear from her.
Why is it you can't conquer your fear of spiders?
When I was a small child, I was being tormented and chased by a group of local bullies and slid into the hollow of a tree to hide. Within moments, spiders were crawling over every inch of my body. Seemed I'd stumbled on a nest. I couldn't move, paralysed by fear of the spiders and an equally profound fear of the wizards I knew were just outside the tree. I was there for what seemed hours. I can feel their legs on me now just talking about it. Ugh.
Why didn't you ask the ministry for help?
I did. Reached out to anyone who would listen. Tried Minister Spout old Spavin himself. But evidently they have their hands full with who knows what else. It seems this little hamlet has to fend for itself.
I'll try my very best, Mr. Dunn.
Please do. If you can think of anyone that may be brave enough to help, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. They'll find Arranshire southeast of Hogsmeade, just below the train station.
I'll say it again. Can't thank you enough for helping to save the village from those trolls. I'm sure you had your reasons, but breaking into Alfred Lawley's home wasn't the brightest idea.
I question anyone teaching defense against dark arts. Why take such an interest?
They don't seem to get along. I try not to judge. It's a kind of constant battle with other beings. It's tempting to simply go.
Revelio.
Appreciate you having a look. All the latest wizarding news right here. Daily Prophet. Read all about it. Extra, extra. All the latest wizarding news right here. Get your daily profit. Read all about it.
It is wonderful to see you back here. Oh, perhaps today you have something you'd like Penny to sell for you? Penny wishes you safe and wondrous travels.
Revelio. This must be Arranshire. I'd best keep an eye out for spiders. Incendio! Leviosa! Tego! Superfly! Stupefly! Moving more aggressive than I'd expected. Incendio! Stupefly! That's the last of them. Oh no, this must be Mary. Poor woman. If Mary was breeding these things in her cellar, that means there are more underground. I'll need to destroy every last spider in that cellar if this is to end. Incendio! Revelio. This is where Mary bred the spiders. They're not here now. Well, this isn't a good sign. These spiders have gone somewhere. I want to know where this leads. Best be ready for whatever I may find down there. Revelio. Hexax. I need to find and destroy all of these before the situation gets even worse. To think that they see me, but I don't see them. Revelio. That's the last of the spider sacks. I suppose I know what happened to Mary Portman now. She was breeding the spiders. Revelio. I hope that's the last spider. Revelio. No, wait, that's the last one. And she's angry. I've been having nightmares for the rest of my life.
chasing down that troll in the village circle. You certainly made an impression.
Mr. Dunn, I have some news.
Thank Merlin. About my sweet friend Mary.
It seems poor Mary was breeding spiders in her home for profit and vastly underestimated their propensity to multiply.
Oh, Mary, what untoward scheme were you involved in? If she needed financial assistance, she could have just come to me. She didn't deserve this. Few do.
I am sorry about your friend, but you'll be relieved to know that I cleared out the spiders. It's safe to return now.
You? You cleared out the spiders? I can't believe it, but I'm certainly relieved. I imagine the first order of business will be to help the amulet rebuild. I suppose I have nothing to fear from dead spiders.
Even so, you'll want to prepare yourself. The place needs something of a clean-up.
Thank you again for all you've done. I shall keep you apprised of the hamlet's rebuilding.
Glad I could be of help, and I look forward to visiting your shop the next time I'm in Arranshire.
To dearly departed Mary.
Alfred Lawley's none too pleased. Seems he's been burgled. I shall pretend I never heard the rumours of your involvement.
What sort of thing are we looking for? Thank you for stopping in. Be sure to visit us again soon. You're the one who took care of that awful acromantula near Arranshire, aren't you? Fine.
today's lesson, we will cover a truly thrilling event. The Goblin Rebellion of 1752 and all its triumphant tragedy. But more specifically, we will address the devastating effect it had on the wizard milling industry. Actually, we do know the number. 632. But history occurs outside the classroom. And look, it's time for my constitutional. One can practically osmose the history flowing through Hogwarts.
I think the professor wants us to follow him.
And now for a stroll to the bell tower entrance hall. Along with the rest of the castle, it was completed in the late early Middle Ages. The hall and the bell towers that loom above it contain myriad interesting artifacts.
At least we're out of the classroom.
Good to see you again. Recovered from that nasty bout of dragon pox, have we?
That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here.
Are you? Well then, welcome. No doubt you're eagerly anticipating my analysis of various wizarding councils, codes, statutes, and of course, goblin rebellions. Not all goblins are rebellious. Some venture into wizarding politics, such as Eargit the Ugly. Some are talented artisans, such as Bragbor the Boastful.
Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock.
Well known for his metalwork. I would imagine much of his goblin wrought iron and silver has survived to this very day. Now, where were we? Oh yes. Back to our class topic for today. Grimbold Weft. Another notable historical figure. He's right nearby. Curious students can find him on display. All students introduce themselves to this hero of Hogwarts.
Can you tell me where I might find Grimbold Weft?
Oh yes, Grimbold Weft. Quick with a needle and thread, that one. He's a fascinating artifact of the Goblin Rebellion of 1752. At any rate, he can be found nearby, perched in his case.
Revelio.
He never strays. Knowledge, do well to seek him out.
Off on another.
Oh yes, I see you found Grimbold Weft.
Why didn't you tell us it was just his skull?
Well, of course he's just a skull. Everyone knows Grimbold Weft died of dragonpox in 1753. Now, let's turn our attention to the agreeability and general good nature of Sir Aphbuttle. He's also nearby. See what you can learn from him for your next assignment. Standing in eternal but symbolic watch over the bell tower is a retinue of loyal knights, or rather, statues of knights, I should clarify. Keen-eyed students will spot the statue of Sir Aphbuttle of the cheerful countenance nestled
Sir
among the
Scagglethorpe the
ranks.
Heedless once challenged a mountain troll to a game of musical chairs.
Fame was not
Care to guess who
by
won?
vanquishing foes in single combat, nor by slaying bloodthirsty dragons, but rather in training yards and sculleries. Way's warm and approachable demeanor was celebrated by old friends and newcomers alike. I encourage everyone to make the waving statue's acquaintance.
Where can I find that friendly knight you mentioned earlier?
Oh yes, Sir Afpuddle, or rather the statue of Sir Afpuddle. It can be found amongst the other statues of knights. It's easy to identify, as it's been enchanted to wave at those who take the time to seek it out.
Wagadu's history is, well, a bit different than that of Hogwarts, to say the least.
If you fail history of magic, you're doomed to repeat it. The class, that is.
Leave it to Binns to make the most interesting school in the world seem dull.
Revelio.
Our students often complain about the many staircases at Hogwarts, but they never bother me. In all the centuries that Hogwarts has existed, not once has it collapsed. Hogwarts is impervious.
Revelio.
Inexorable march of time. Perhaps that is why I admire it so.
Abandoning class to wander the halls is in keeping with Professor Binns' manner of teaching.
What I wouldn't give to be back on a broom right now.
As one would expect, Hogwarts contains no narthexes, since obviously those would not be found in castles.
What are you up to now?
Revelio. Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Afpuddle.
Ah, well done. Alas, Sir Afpuddle's affability was his undoing. Died instantly trying to befriend a basilisk. Eye contact is not always to be encouraged. So beloved was he that even some goblins mourned his passing. Of course, that did not bode well with the rest of the goblins, most of whom could not abide mourning the loss of a wizard.
Goblins and wizard kind will never trust each other.
Yes, well, it takes a cauldron to raise a chisperful, as they say. History does tend to repeat. It is a series of patterns, a thought both comforting and disconcerting. The wise students, such as yourself, will learn from it. History is written by those who do their schoolwork, so they say. Or at least, I like to say that.
How can we do so much and accomplish so little?
Revelio.
This unassuming smudge is rumored to be the location of the very first successful use of Bombarda. I suppose successful is a relative term, since whoever cast it didn't live to tell the tale.
Revelio. Revelio.
And Peeves wins the House Cup!
Peeves needs a hobby, a different hobby.
Half a bottle of flabbergasted leech.
I shall never.
Revelio. 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 Incendio. Revelio. Incendio! Revelio. 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 Alohomora. Revelio.
I need to get some dragonhide gloves for herbology. I refuse to handle Chinese chomping cabbages with bare hands. Why won't she just let us use gillyweed? What's the point of even learning about herbology if we can't get ourselves into trouble with gillyweed? If I haven't personally met a mermaid by the end of term, I can tell you I shan't be happy.
Revelio. Revelio.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
So frustrating. You wanted to speak with me? I had hoped to speak with you alone, Natsai. Your message mentioned your concern about an unusual creature that was spotted in the woods near Hogsmeade. That could have been anything.
You know what it was, Natsai.
I am allowed to leave the castle. I am always careful, Mother.
Careful? Officer Singer disagrees. She sent me an owl telling me that you have been trying to collect evidence of some kind against dark wizards. She berated me for not keeping a closer eye on you, and she is right. I do not want you visiting Hogsmeade for the near future.
But Mother!
My little gazelle, you are well-intentioned, but you must not meddle in the affairs of dangerous people.
If someone had meddled in Matabeleland, Father would still be with us.
I must get to class. Perhaps your friend can get you to listen to reason.
So frustrating. She never listens to me.
She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from?
It is specific to me. I am the unusual creature in Hogsmeade she mentioned. Self-transfiguration is not taught at Hogwarts, so I am gently discouraged from practicing it. However, I am an animagus, and it is in my gazelle form that I have been able to wander the Highlands rather freely until now, much to my mother's chagrin. That is how I managed to spy on Rookwood and Harlow.
Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one?
Animagi are not born. The process is quite elaborate. It involves holding a mandrake leaf in one's mouth for an entire month, then placing the leaf in a crystal phial so that it is imbued with moonlight, then adding one of your own hairs. And that is just the beginning. Self-transfiguration is common among students at Wagadu, but Professor Weasley considers it much too dangerous to teach at Hogwarts.
Can you choose what form your animagus will take?
Oh no, a person's animagus form is determined by their personality. My mother is convinced that my form is a gazelle because I adapt well to any situation. I believe it is because I can sense danger and keep my wits about me.
How does it feel to transform into an animal?
Well, the first time it can be a bit unnerving. I felt a kind of searing pain and a strong double heartbeat. But it gets easier the more you do it. I no longer feel any pain, and I must say, I find a sense of comfort in the double heartbeat. And I love being able to view the world from a different perspective.
Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have.
It is. I love transforming, but Mother is less enthusiastic about it. She says that no creature, especially one as rare as a gazelle, should be bounding about where poaching has become so prevalent. She claims that she has foreseen tragedy befall me in my gazelle form. But she has used her sight to control me too many times. I no longer believe it.
She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now.
That may be safe, but I do not believe that it would be best. Do you? You could have fled the moment you discovered that Rookwood, Harlow, and Randrock were after you, but you did not. I choose to act as you have. I must deal with Rookwood and Harlow, not hide from them. My mother cannot know where I am all the time. Thank you for being here during that rather awkward conversation.
Professor, could you tell me how you and Natty ended up at Hogwarts?
I can. That is an easy question. We are here because of Professor Weasley.
You knew Professor Weasley when you were in Uganda?
I knew of Professor Weasley. As you may or may not be aware, Professor Weasley's work once took her around the globe. Without providing detail that is not mine to share, I can say that she was well known in our wizarding community for, well, sharing magical knowledge between countries.
I confess that I'm surprised to hear Professor Weasley would ever do that sort of thing.
I suspect there is much about each of your professors that would surprise and impress you. Such exchanges of information, ministry sanctioned or not, have occurred for centuries. It was an African sorcerer, in fact, who shared the unlocking charm with a certain wizard from London. A thief, rather unfortunately.
I see.
But back to your original question. Professor Weasley had heard of my work and life in Matabeleland and my time teaching at Wagadu. She was deputy headmistress at Hogwarts by then, and when the position of divination professor became available, she contacted me. Her timing was perfect. I had just foreseen a change in Nat's size and my circumstances and knew that we needed to leave Uganda. Natsai was as ready as I was for a new adventure. So, off we went.
Natty has spoken of your move. She was quite kind to me my first day here, in Charms.
That sounds like Natsai. I'm glad she has found a friend in you. Now, I must return to my work. As I've told Natsai, do be careful. I had a vision earlier this year of her with a friend, flying on winged beasts. Perhaps unsurprisingly, she will neither confirm nor deny my visions, unless it suits her.
Revelio.
Handy resource indeed.